There is a moment most men completely miss. It happens quietly. No fireworks, no dramatic confession, just three simple words. And if you don't recognize them, you will walk right past a woman who has already chosen you. That's the painful truth. Because attraction doesn't always shout, it whispers. And when she reaches that point, her limbic system has already made the decision long before logic catches up. You think you still have to prove yourself, but in her mind, you're already inside the door. And if you don't respond the right way in that moment, she closes it forever. And listen, this isn't your fault. Nobody ever sat you down and explained how female attraction actually works. Society handed you a script full of chasing, over-explaining, trying too hard, so you miss the quiet signals, the real ones, the ones that matter. You're not broken, you were just never shown the pattern. Because what I'm about to share with you, I've seen it play out again and again. My name is Luna John, and female psychology has been my world for over a decade, watching what women feel, what they hide, and what they never say out loud. Especially in those subtle moments where everything is already decided. There are three specific words, just three. When a woman says them in the right context, with the right energy, her subconscious is revealing something powerful. And almost nobody talks about this. Most men brush it off. Or worse, they respond in a way that instantly kills the attraction. But you're not going to do that, because I'm going to walk you through all three. And the last one changes everything. It's the one that flips the dynamic completely. The first one is what I call the I trust you signal. Now understand this clearly. When a woman says I trust you, it's rarely about logic. It's not a checklist. It's not because you said all the right things. It's emotional, deeply emotional. Her parasympathetic nervous system is relaxing around you. Her guard, which she keeps up around most men, starts to drop without her even realizing it. And here's what most men get wrong. They hear those words and they immediately go into performance mode. They try to prove they're worthy of that trust. They overtalk, they become careful, they lose their edge. But what she's actually testing is whether you stay grounded. Because when she says, I trust you, what she means, but will never say out loud, is, I feel safe being emotionally open with you. And that feeling, it's rare. It triggers oxytocin. It creates bonding. It pulls her closer without effort. Picture this. You're sitting with her, maybe late evening. Conversation slows down. She looks at you a little longer than usual and says softly, I don't know why, but I trust you. That pause right there, that's everything. That's her subconscious stepping forward. Most men ruin it. They say something like, I'd never hurt you, or they start explaining themselves. And just like that, the tension disappears, the attraction flattens. But a grounded man, he receives it, calm, unshaken, maybe a slight smile. Maybe he simply holds eye contact a second longer because he understands something deeper. Trust isn't built by words in that moment. It's confirmed by presence. And when you respond like that, her mind leans in even further. She starts investing emotionally without realizing it. She begins to imagine you in her world. But that's only the beginning, because point number 2, that's where most men lose her completely. And they never even know why, because once she feels that initial trust, everything becomes more subtle, more dangerous in a way. This is where most men think they're doing well, but they unknowingly break the emotional tension that was building. And it all comes down to the second phrase. I call this one the I miss this signal. Now listen carefully. When a woman says something like, I miss this, or I've missed this feeling, she's not just talking about the moment. She's talking about you, about how you make her feel in a way she hasn't experienced in a long time. Her dopamine system is lighting up, familiar but rare, comfortable but exciting. Most men completely misunderstand this. They hear it and assume she's talking about the activity, the place, the situation, so they respond on the surface. Yeah, it's a nice spot, or we should do this more, safe, predictable, and instantly the depth collapses. But you don't do that, because what she's really expressing, without saying it directly, is emotional recognition. Her mind is connecting you to a positive internal state, And in attraction, that's everything. Women don't fall for logic. They attach to how consistently you create a feeling inside them. Picture it. You're with her. Maybe laughing, maybe just sitting in a quiet moment where everything feels easy. No pressure, no performance. And she leans back slightly, looks at you and says, "I've missed this." There's softness in her voice, a slight pause. That's not random. That's her opening a door. And most men, they rush. They fill the silence. They try to build on it too quickly, but that kills it because her limbic system needs space to expand that feeling, to sit in it, to let it grow. A grounded man understands contrast. Most men chase the moment, but you hold it. You don't interrupt the emotion. You let it breathe. Maybe you say something simple, "Yeah, it feels right." Or you don't say anything at all, just eye contact, just presence. That restraint, it signals emotional control, and that's what deepens attraction. Because now she starts associating you not just with safety, but with emotional return, like coming home to something she didn't realize she needed. If this is hitting different, tap the like button. It helps this reach men who genuinely need it. Now here's where it gets even deeper. The third phrase starts forming beneath the surface after moments like this. It builds quietly, and it's tied directly to how you handle these emotional openings. I call this one the "you get me" signal. When a woman says, "You just get me," that's not casual, that's psychological alignment. Her brain is recognizing similarity, emotional safety, and understanding all at once. In evolutionary psychology, this signals compatibility, long-term potential. Her defenses drop even further. But again, most men ruin it. They respond with logic. "Of course I do." Or they start explaining why they understand her. And that immediately pulls her out of the emotional state and into analysis. And once she's there, the magic fades. Because what she felt in that moment was rare and fragile. When you respond instead with calm certainty, when you don't over-explain, when you let her feel understood without forcing it, that's when she leans in the deepest. Her body relaxes, her tone softens, she starts investing more, texting more, thinking about you more than she planned to. But this is nothing, absolutely nothing, compared to what comes next. Because point number 4, that's where everything shifts permanently, because once she reaches this stage, it's no longer just curiosity or comfort. It becomes something she feels in her body, something she can't easily explain, even to herself. This is what I call the "stay a little longer" moment. And you need to understand how powerful this really is. When a woman says something like, "stay a little longer," or she delays leaving, stretches the moment, finds small reasons to keep you there, her entire system is responding to you. Her breathing slows, her voice softens. Time feels different around you, and she notices it. This isn't politeness, this isn't convenience, this is attachment beginning to form. Her parasympathetic nervous system is fully engaged now. She feels calm, safe, but also slightly excited. That mix creates emotional imprinting, the kind she replays later, at night, when everything is quiet. She'll think about the way you looked at her, the pauses, the energy, and she won't fully understand why it stayed with her. Picture this. You're sitting across from her in a quiet coffee shop, late afternoon light coming through the window, conversation flowing without effort. She checks the time. She knows she should go. She even says it. "I should probably head out." But she doesn't move. Her body stays. Her eyes come back to you. A few seconds pass. Then she smiles slightly and says, "Or maybe I'll stay a little longer." That moment right there, most men destroy it. They get excited. They lean forward too fast. They start planning the next step out loud. They break the emotional rhythm that her body just created. But a grounded man, he feels it. He doesn't rush. He doesn't grab at the moment. He allows it to unfold. He stays present. Maybe he leans back slightly, relaxed. Maybe he just meets her eyes and lets the silence stretch a little because he understands something deeper. Attraction at this level grows in space, not pressure. And when you hold that space, her investment increases without effort. She begins to feel like staying was her idea. her choice. That matters more than anything you could say. Most men will miss every one of these signals, their whole lives. They'll think attraction is about chasing, impressing, proving, and they'll never understand why it always feels just out of reach. But you're here. You're seeing the pattern. You're starting to feel it, not just hear it. That alone separates you. This is exactly what I've witnessed over years of studying these dynamics. And as Luna John, I can tell you, the men who understand this don't just attract women, they stay in their minds long after the moment ends, because now she's not just reacting to you, she's remembering you, she's replaying you, she's feeling you, even when you're not there. And that changes everything. But there is one final piece, and this one, I almost didn't include it, because once you understand this, that you can't go back to not seeing it, because this final piece, it's the one women feel the deepest and almost never say out loud. I call it the don't disappear signal. It doesn't always come in those exact words. Sometimes it sounds like, text me when you get home. Sometimes it's, let me know you made it. Soft, casual, almost innocent. But underneath that, something powerful is happening. She's emotionally invested now. When a woman reaches this point, her mind has already placed you somewhere important. Her dopamine has linked to your presence. Her oxytocin has started forming a bond. And now there's a quiet fear. Not fear of you. Fear of losing the feeling you created. That's what she never admits. When she says, text me when you get home, what she really means is, I don't want this connection to break. She's extending the moment beyond the moment. She's creating a thread between you and her, even after you're gone. And most men, they mishandle this completely. They either ignore it or they overdo it. Double texting, over-explaining, trying to hold on to her too tightly. And the moment they do that, the dynamic shifts. Because attraction doesn't grow from pressure. It grows from emotional certainty mixed with space. A grounded man understands the balance. He doesn't disappear, but he also doesn't chase. He responds clean, simple. Got home safe. That's it. No performance, no extra weight. Because what matters isn't the words, it's the consistency, the calm presence, the signal that you're stable, predictable, emotionally controlled. And that's what locks it in. Because now, she relaxes even deeper. Her nervous system trusts the connection. She doesn't feel the need to question it. And when a woman stops questioning, she starts attaching. Let's walk through this one more time, step by step. First, when she says, I trust you, don't perform, receive it, stay grounded. Let her feel your presence without trying to prove it. Second, when she says, I've missed this, don't rush to fill the moment, hold the space. Let the emotion breathe so it expands inside her. Third, when she shows you that you get her, don't over-explain. Let her feel understood without dragging her into logic. Fourth, when she wants to stay a little longer, don't grab at it. Let it unfold naturally. That's where emotional imprinting happens. And finally, when she gives you that quiet, don't disappear signal, respond with calm consistency, not intensity, not distance, just steady presence. Most men go their entire lives never understanding any of this. They keep chasing louder signals, bigger signs, missing the quiet moments where everything is already decided. They wonder why nothing sticks, why she pulls away, why the connection fades before it even begins. But you didn't do that. You stayed, you paid attention, you saw what most men never see. If this opens something in you, subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, I'm revealing something women feel in the first 30 seconds of meeting a man. And once you understand it, you'll never walk into a room the same way again. Comment the word chosen below. I read every single one. Because in the end, she doesn't choose the man who tries the hardest. She chooses the man who understands her without needing to be told.